Cancer, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early October 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Cancerians. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going. God, Spirit Team, talk to me. What do we got for Cancer here in early October, Libra season? What energies, messages, insights can we pull for our good friends? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Cancer. Please and thank you. Let's get this first card out nice and quick. What's the vibe? What is happening for the Cancerians, please? Okay, being very specific. There it is. Thank you. Ask and you shall receive. All right, there's a complexity here with this card, and it's a frequent flyer on my channel. I see this from time to time, but it just so happens that I haven't seen this card in probably a couple months. So, like, there's a complexity to it. So whatever situations you might be going through could have a lot of layers involved. Now, before we fully dive into it, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the October subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card. And the reason I say it's complex, we see this mirrored, and there's a lady looking into it. She has a mask over her face. There's multiple mirrors, multiple reflections, various different items all over that little dresser there. There's a babushka doll, which is layer upon layer upon layer. So it feels like a lot. So this could really manifest a few different ways with whatever it is you're going through. One, everyone knows the Cancer Collective is very sensitive to energetic frequencies, different ones, subtle energies. You pick up on them very easily. And when I see this card show up, it tells me, like, all right, that could be extra heightened in this time, which is a lot. So just know you could be feeling a lot of the things around you, whether it's people, places, what's going on in the world today. It just feels like a lot of energy coming your way. But aside from that, when I see all these little items and all these different little layers of symbolism, it could just represent complexity with whatever your current situation is. Now, I know Cancers are going through a lot of different stuff, and there are a lot of layers within that lot of different stuff. So we're going to have to put that down. Let's see what Tarot has to say. And I always say the first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. So let's shuffle it up one time here for the Cancerians, please. While we get this shuffled and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Now, I will say this, hopefully we're not going to jinx anything, but for the past couple of weeks, I've kind of been liking the vibe I've been picking up in your readings. Last week's reading was titled The End of a Chapter, but it didn't feel like 10 of Swords harsh. To me, it felt like for a lot of Cancerians, you might be going through a metamorphosis, and a new chapter could be opening up for a lot of you. So we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone that you're linked to. So let's get it going. 3 cards here for Cancer, please. What is happening in early October? Thank you. Okay, 5 of Swords. Now that could be a little aggressive. So for some of you, there could be something that's coming on pretty strong, whether it's a person or a situation. We'll just have to see. For some of you, you might just be in like self-first type of mode, which, I mean, that doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Okay, 10 of Swords here in the center. So sword, sword, sword. So maybe I did jinx it. It's all good, though. We'll talk about it. Let's get one more out here. 2 cards does not a reading make. Let's get one more. There we go. 10 of Cups. Beautiful. All right. So for some of you, there could be a situation that could be hanging in the air. And I don't want to get too intuitive just yet, but when I see the 5 of Swords and then this little split of energy on the back end, for some of you, there could be a situation where it's like, all right, well, this could go a couple different ways. Is it going to go this way, worst case scenario, or best case? And there's an extreme in the energy here, which makes this make a little more sense to me, okay, especially with all these strong 10-based type of vibes. Now, let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, I feel this spread, at least elementally, and with what I'm picking up already, fits in with what I've already been feeling. Because notice there's a double down of the sword energy, And in tarot, swords represent the realm of the mind and also communication, speaking. We have cups, very comfortable in this energy for the Cancerians, and cups represent the emotional realm. So it's like we have the heart and mind. There's a lot of internal energy. And as I was saying earlier, Cancer is very perceptible to that, whether it's other people sending these energies your ways or just you picking it up from the ether. So let's just go through piece by piece and really start to build this out, because I feel like there could be a situation or something that, like, all right, it could go a couple different ways here. I'm feeling cautiously optimistic, though, believe it or not. Now, position number one, we have the Five of Swords, and I'm going to give you the good, bad, and in between about all of these cards. And you see this individual standing there, has all the swords, looks like he just won a little fight, won a little dust up there. So, of course, sometimes this card could represent conflict, right? It's a card of aggression. That's why I said it's coming on strong. This energy is coming out the gate like hard and heavy. So just know maybe there's a project or a situation that you're planning on hitting it hard. Like, I'm not holding back. I'm going to hit this like a ton of bricks. Watch out for conflict with others, because this really can be a problem when it shows up, especially with the Ten of Swords right next to it. It could sometimes represent selfish individuals. So for a portion of you, maybe you have dealings with a person that is very self-focused. I don't like to always throw the term around. This is the card that represents narcissistic individuals as well. But there's good with this card. It's not all bad. This card could also represent determination, someone that's not going to stop. If you have something set in your mind, you're going to see it through when this card is here. And it is looking out for oneself, okay? Not what makes everyone else around you happy, but your happiness could be of utmost importance when this card is here. Okay, it's also a card of self-reliance as well. So I feel like it could be good. It all depends on what clarifies it. For a portion of you, maybe you have someone around you that's kind of disgruntled or cold as well. Because moving into the center, we have the Ten of Swords. Now, I always say not every card is worst case scenario, and same goes with this. Yes, this is one of the more challenging cards in the whole entire deck. You see that person with all the swords on their back? It represents endings, just like all tens do. So these two have similar shades to them, the Ten of Cups and Ten of Swords. And it fits with what I was seeing last week as well, a chapter closing. Now, the Ten of Swords could represent something a little more painful, hurt feelings. It could be something that ends in a harsh way. It could represent loss, and it's just endings in general. It's not the nicest energy, but it's on a spectrum. It could be from minor to major. It all really depends on what you're going through. And again, we do have to clarify it. Now, the good thing about the Ten of Swords, there could be certain situations where it's like, okay, well, it's already bottomed out, where it's like, there's only one way to go and it's up when we see this card. And that's a good thing. That's a good silver lining here. Now, moving over to the next card, this is what makes it extra intriguing to me, is the Ten of Cups is the complete opposite, inverse type of energy that we have with the Ten of Swords, because you see these people happy. It's like happy family, happy life, wish fulfillment, wins, victories, you name it. These people are super content. Now, a portion of you could have situations involving the family on your mind, living situations, property, you name it. With the Ten of Cups, it could represent those things. But the fact that it's 10 cups, that's a lot of emotion. That's a lot of feeling. So it's like we have so much internal energy here. But this is best case scenario. If we're talking worst case scenario, this is the best case. In its challenge, though, if it's not talking about issues within the family unit, the Ten of Cups in reverse can sometimes represent feelings that are super intense. So it's like when we go from this super intense energy in the beginning, there's a lot of intensity all around here from what I'm picking up. And I feel like we might need to inject a little gray area here, because it's like, okay, we don't have to be so extreme. It doesn't have to be burn it all to the ground or have everything. There could be a middle ground. So we're going to put that Ten of Cups right back up there. I got to dive deeper on this, Cancer, so let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we got for the Cancer ones, please? What's happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Five of Swords. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Cancer, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Five of Swords time. Why is it in the mix? Why is that Five of Swords here? Thank you. Eight of Cups. very disgruntled. Very, very disgruntled. So whether this is you or somebody else, there for a bunch of Cancerians with all this emotional and inner intensity that we're picking up within this reading, for a portion of you, there is either one, a situation where it's like, listen, I can't feed into that. Like I can't put my energy into that for whatever reason. Like it's too much, can't deal with it. For another portion of you, when I see this together, it could be a little bit of anger. So just know there might be someone that ticks you off a little bit, or just someone that gets on your wrong side. This could also represent somebody else that's a little angry, upset, or mad. And I've been seeing this in little traces in other other collectives, but I'm seeing it pretty strong here. Now, the Eight of Cups, I don't always say it's walking away from something, but it could be. It's on the move. It's taking action. So for a lot of you, like I think the self-focus is a good place to be in this time. I'll give you that little reassurance from this spread up here in the front, like self-reliance, worrying about yourself, those closest to you, very important when I have this alignment here in the front. But then again, at the same time, I don't feel your tolerance for BS being high in this time. Okay, whether it's other people's BS, certain situations, it's just like, I can't deal with this right now. So again, either it's anger or it's just saying I'm not willing to give my energy to something at the moment. Let's keep moving forward. All right. And there's a time and a place for everything. Sometimes we're good at solving issues and jumping in and doing this and helping other people out. Sometimes we just don't have it in us. And I feel for a lot of Cancerians now is a time where you could become overwhelmed. So just keep that in mind. It's a little bit of a warning. So let's go in on that Ten of Swords. Let's see why the Ten of Swords is here. Okay. Okay. Ace of Cups in reverse. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of this energy right here. Okay, because it is a pretty low that somebody is in. Now, again, not saying it has to be you. Could be someone else, of course, but Ten of Swords, Ace of Cups in reverse does tell us that somebody is hitting a low, like emotionally or just something that they're dealing with. It's like, again, the intensity and all this stuff. Remember, look, we're still dealing with all cups and all air. This is all internal energy, and it just feels like it's so much. Now, another thing I want to say, yeah, this is warning type of energy, and it's important, but I feel like we don't have to look at things in such extremes. Okay, so just know with like certain situations you're going through, I'm no one to judge, right? I know a lot of people going through a lot of complex things. Try not to see things as complete catastrophe or a complete and total win over everything. Like there has to be a middle ground somewhere. Okay, like with this, there has to be a silver lining somewhere. This has to open a door somewhere else. With this, yeah, maybe at the back end, there's a little drawback there. Like it's seeing something not so polarized, if that makes sense. So let's just keep moving forward. Yeah, we do have this this energy of someone being at a very low. But let's see what the Ten of Cups has to say. There are some warnings here. Now, for a portion of you, remember I said there was an end of a chapter? Yeah, listen, maybe some of you, it's going to take a little time to fully process it, right? If you are experiencing an ending or a metamorphosis of some kind, it might take a lot out of you to really process through it, and that's okay. So let's go in on that Ten of Cups. Just know that if this isn't you, it could be somebody else you're connected to that could be in a fragile state, okay? So let's see what that Ten of Cups is. What is the Ten of Cups here, please? Thank you. Yeah, lots of tens. 3 10s showing up here. 10 of Wands in reverse. Okay, so yeah, not permanent. There's not an energy of permanence here, which is a good thing. Again, you see the themes. You see the messages like we had last week, chapters closing and endings. 3 of these cards are 10s, and 10s represent chapters closing and endings, literally. Now, the 10 of Wands in the upright does feel very heavy. So if it was in the upright, I'd be a little more concerned about this. But the fact that it's in reverse is relief. So for a lot of Cancerians in this time, maybe something you thought was like the worst case scenario, listen, maybe at some point you're going to see why it needed to happen the way it did. The 10 of Wands in reverse does talk about just a big relief. And again, I'm seeing this extreme of energies, okay? Even with this, right? I guess it's all in how you frame whatever situations you're going through, really. How you view it, your perspective, how you experience it. Like, all right, well, to some of you, this could be one of the hardest things ever. For another portion of you, you know what? We're setting up something big here. So I feel like it's depending on your lens. But try your best not to be too polarized or too black and white or too extreme in your view. Try to find some middle ground here because the themes are clear. There's still good energy here, but there's warnings involved as well. So let's go through and do a quick recap here, Cancer. Then we'll do a quick shadow card just to see what's up. So very clear, concise themes throughout, like almost all this reading is internal energy. But position number one, we have the Five of Swords with the Eight of Cups. I did say for a lot of you in this time, you might get overwhelmed really quickly with things. So just watch where you're putting your energy, watch what situations you're feeding into too much. Maybe you just need to focus on your well-being for the time being when this energy is here in the front. For a portion of you, yeah, this could also represent someone you're connected to that's quite disgruntled or angry. Moving to the center, I have the Ten of Swords with the Ace of Cups in reverse. A very low, what we're picking up here. So whether it's this person, whether it's something that you're feeling, this back end just feels very extreme. Now, I still feel this change, this metamorphosis, but I think it's very important with how you frame it. Especially moving over, like, yeah, lots of important or serious warnings in the front, but the Ten of Cups clarified by the Ten of Wands in reverse. So how you view this situation, because this is a total relief. Now, whatever it is you're going through right now, there's not a permanence to it. It's like, all right, this too shall pass. This will get better. This will lighten up. There's good energy in the end result here. But again, I do feel like how you look at the situation, how you look at it is what's really going to determine your energetic and emotional space. Okay, like you control that, believe it or not. So please take a screenshot if you want to look through that further. There's a lot there still, you know, in just for time's sake, I'm just going to leave it at that. But let's see what's in the shadows for you. Let's see what's in the shadows for Cancer. It just felt intense from the jump. That's one thing I will say. Let's go. And yes, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for my channel members. All right, let's get this shadow card out here for you. What's in the shadows for Cancer? Thank you. Page of Swords. So again, I feel like a lot of the advice type of messages that were coming out for you this week are kind of reaffirmed when we have this Page of Swords. Now, what do we know about the Page of Swords? Yeah, it's air sign energy, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. But out of all the pages, they all represent learning and communication. So this is a good card for new things. But the Page of Swords is also very defensive, and it's the watcher. And remember what I was saying, how you view something, the frame you put it in could be very important. Okay, so again, all this is on a scale. For some of you, maybe it's just an annoyance. For some of you, this could be really tough to deal with. And I guess it just depends on how you frame it, you view it, how you experience it when the Page of Swords is here. Again, with the Page of Swords, there could be a situation that you might just want to keep an eye on. Right? You don't got to keep both eyes on it, but just keep an eye on it, clock in on it. And for a portion of you, maybe someone's got you under the microscope there. But yeah, Cancer, that's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the October subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar for the month of October at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the October subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks, the Tarot of the Owls. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. Second, let me know down in the comments, hypothetically, if you had to get a tattoo of a tarot card, which one would you choose and why? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. I'll see you again soon.